Hello aspirants and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. In this lecture, we will be discussing with respect to the legality of an interesting news that is coming and which is regarding the Himachal tribal women who has married two brothers. So of course, she has married two men over here and both of them are each other's brothers. So this woman has married two men in this case. So we will understand now, whenever a woman marries more than one man, it is known as polyandry. So there are different kinds of marriages, polyandry being one of them. So when a woman marries two or more men, it is known as polyandry. So that is what she has done over here. She is a tribal woman from Himachal Pradesh. So we will look at the legalities or the laws which are there with respect to polyandry. So we'll understand whether any law permits polyandry or if it does not. So what are the legalities of this issue is what we are going to see in this class. So what's the news all about? This woman has done polyandry, which is also known as Jodi Dharan. Jodi Dharan is a indigenized name for polyandry. So both of them mean same. In prelims, you can be asked what is meant by Jodi Dharan. So it is basically polyandry. Now, she belongs to a particular tribal community, that is Hatti tribe is what she belongs to, and this particular tribe has been recently added in the schedule of the Indian Constitution in 2022 and hence become the scheduled tribe. Now, what is the purpose of this polyandry? So, in certain cultures where polyandry is done, there are certain reasons which are given by the people of that culture or outside the culture who give arguments as to why this polyandry exists. One of the arguments is to preserve the undivided family land. So how is undivided family land preserved over here? Now, the family land which would have gone to, let's say, this brother and these two brothers would then have been divided, right, between this person and his wife and this person and his wife. But now what happens is both of them have married a single woman, as a result of which the family land would be undivided and would stay in the same family. Then you have familial bonding as well. Now this is a subjective entity wherein you are saying by marrying two men, what happens, the family bond is getting stronger, but subjectively many people may disagree with this particular kind of reasoning. Now, this is the 5 such case which has come to light in the last 6 years, as a result of which we will also discuss its legality as well. Now, before we move on to that, a special announcement about the new batches that are going to start on 9th and 11th of August, wherein you will be taught by the experts in the UPSC industries, all of whom themselves have given the UPSC's personality tests, many of which have given it multiple times as well, and each one of them having over 10 years of experience, some closing on to 15 and 20 years of experience as well. The advantage that you get when you enroll with Legacy IAS Academy for your UPSC preparation is the comprehensive coverage of all your GS papers. Yes, this is also an advantage because many places you won't even get complete syllabus coverage. So we had to mention this. In addition, of course, various other things like one-on-one mentorship by the same experts that you just now saw, as well as regular interaction with the faculties, and a maximum of only 40 students are allowed in any single batch. In addition, you will have your daily answer writing practice, which will be in addition to your prelims and mains test series, and we will be covering your current affairs from a 360-degree angle, meaning one complete day is kept specifically for current affairs live classes every single week. So make sure you download the Legacy IAS Academy app, wherein you get the provision to subscribe to our courses, or you can log on to www.legacyisacademy.com and call the numbers that are listed here. Now let's come back to the news now with respect to the socio-economic roots of polyandry. As we discussed, first is land preservation. So it prevents fragmentation of agricultural land holdings. land holdings in general, agricultural land holdings in particular. As we know, economically it is better to have a bigger land holding for economy of scales. So if it gets fragmented, there is difficulty in farming, technological advancement in farming, so on and so forth. Then the brotherhood bonding, as we talked about, the familial bonds can get stronger, as well as women's security. Women's security also with respect to the finances. Now there are two men to take care of her security. So these are the arguments. Remember, whenever you give arguments in favor of something, forget about the negatives of it, just focus on the arguments in favor. And when you focus on the negatives, then you forget about the positives that are there, or else you will be confused in writing the arguments. So this women's security is another argument in its favor. Now this is not limited to a particular state. The news is coming from Himachal Pradesh, but these things are there in various other states, in different tribes as well. So you have the Toda tribes of the Nilgiri Hills, Tamil Nadu, then Khasa from the Uttarakhand. Hathi is what we are discussing right now. Then Khasis, Ladani, Bota, Nayar, from different regions of India. You have different tribes who are practicing polyandry. Now, what do the law says? So as far as polyandry is concerned, now polyandry is a type of polygamy. So let's first understand that. The forms of marriages, it can be monogamy. One person marrying only one person is monogamy. Now, when one person marries more than one person, that is polygamy. Now, polygamy can be of two different types. One is polygyny, the other is polyandry. When a male marries two or more than two females, it is polygyny. And when a female marries two or more than two males, it is polyandry. So a particular kind of polygamy, that is polyandry, is what we are discussing, and this polyandry is outlawed. That means it is illegal as per the Hindu Marriage Act of 1955 section 5, as per the Special Marriages Act, and as well as the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023, it is criminalized. So these are what the laws are saying. However, there are certain customary exceptions. What are customary exceptions? Exceptions because this particular thing is followed by the rituals or the customs of certain traditions or certain tribes. So in that case, as per the Hindu Marriage Act section 2.2, it is not applicable to the STs, that is the scheduled tribes. We saw that the Hindu Marriage Act basically outlaws it, but that's not applicable to the scheduled tribes, and the Hatti tribe has been recently declared as the scheduled tribe. But the customs, you cannot simply say it belongs to my custom any randomly. That customs should be ancient, reasonable, and basically evidence that these are the customs that were followed, and it should not go against any public policy as such. So that is the provision. Now, if you talk about the Uniform Civil Code law that is there, Uttarakhand state has passed its own Uniform Civil Code. At a national level, we are mulling, we are discussing about it, but Uttarakhand has already passed it, under which it mandates monogamy, and of course also equal spousal rights, marriage registration, etc. is all equal. At the same time, it mandates monogamy. At the same time, this particular thing is applying constantly, equally on all the religions, on all sections of the society. However, here also there are certain exceptions. Exceptions are made for the STs in section 2 of the Uniform Civil Code Rules 2025. It is not applicable to STs is what it says. It is not applicable to the STs or groups with protected customary rights. So there are certain exceptions here as well. Moving ahead. Now further, if you look at the Supreme Court judgments that have been taken place. So if you look at the Triple Talaq case, wherein it was declared arbitrary against Article 14 and 21. Sabrimala temple entry, the verdict with respect to the entry of women in the temple, the women were allowed their entry. So there have been laws or certain things with respect to the religion which is going on with respect to right of an individual, right to equality, as well as right to practice one's own religion, right? Further, the Supreme Court in Ramcharan versus Sukhram case of 2024 has mentioned that the tribal women, they cannot be denied the inheritance in absence of express customs. That means even via customs, if they are not given the rights in the land, they cannot be denied that rights, because what will happen is constitutional rights may supersede the customary rights, which might discriminate. I hope that's clear. So that discrimination can exist in the customary rights in a manner wherein it is mutual and it's not a negative discrimination. But a negative discrimination, for example, not giving land rights to the female in inheritance, will not hold true. So tribal women cannot be denied inheritance in absence of express customs is what is said. So again, customary laws can be superseded by the constitutional laws that are there. And in this case, however, we have seen that certain amount of exceptions already exist, with the help of which polyandry can be practiced by the tribal people or the people who are given certain customary exceptions. Thank you.